Superman number 19, Peter J. Tomasi and Patrick Gleason. Patrick Gleason's also on the art in this one. This is part 3 of Superman Reborn. And, of course, spoilers for each because we talk about it. And I'm kind of emphasising it with this first one because things happen. And
major spoilers.
Yeah. Reveal at end. A reveal that I'm pretty sure we all saw coming. We've been talking about this kind of happening for a while. We've been talking about...
It's just the method in which it happens. I don't think anybody was going to be able to call. You know?
Oh, sure. It's Mixie's weird game reality.
Can I start with my biggest problem of this issue?
It reads too fast?
No. The cover is the most misleading cover yet.
Oh, yeah, I don't care.
Oh, because of the OZ.
Yeah.
The OZ. Is that what we're calling him now?
And that's what I call him.
I distinctly remember last week us saying, "Oh, it's going to tie into that stuff next week because he's on the cover." Not really.
To be fair, I got the Frank cover, and remember there was that big old blotched out part of it
that just
we saw in Solicits. Yeah, just Mixie. So I might have to go get double copies of these so I can frame these as they go together. Because Gary Frank drawing Superman's like my favorite thing in the world, I think.
No, it's glorious. I never not enjoy that. Oz isn't in the cover, but let's be honest, like if we had to tally up every single time a comics cover was unreliable as for what was actually in the book,
I agree, but they
like,
usually at least feel thematic. This just feels like there's no reason for it.
Oh, it almost should have been the last, but then you can't do the Clark one.
Exactly.
So,
yeah. I feel like it'll be more relevant next issue, but yeah, they wanted to have the 2 Supermans in the next one, so that he just get put on this one.
Yeah, which is kind of annoying.
So this issue ties back into it's always Lois and Clark.
Yes.
From the last one.
And Superman.
Yeah. But that's what got me here is, so if Mr. Oz is behind the displacement, why would he choose New 52, like those elements, for this world? You know, to separate from... Or was it even his doing? You know, was it just the universe trying to write itself because it needed a Lois and Clark?
Possibly. Well, so we talked last week about red and blue, and how it might be like an old play on the red and blue thing, Superman red, Superman blue. And obviously in this, you know, John's in Mixie's world, and he's like kind of lost and alone, and these 2 red energy balls come up to him and talk to him. And as soon as he started talking back to them, and as if it was like not that scary, I'm like, all right, this is. I know who these 2 balls are.
This red and blue was far more literal than I think we were expecting.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah. To the point.
We also got that in Superwoman. I mean, the whole with Lois and Lana, with their red and blue. You know, even on their outfits.
Yeah, the energy they got from New 52 Superman was red energy, and now that kind of makes sense. And Lana gave that back in Superwoman, and now. These red energy balls, at the end of the issue, it's the big kind of thing at the end, is that they become New 52 Superman and New 52 Lois again at the end. So, if we're going with this idea that the New 52 are the red side of Superman, and it's the sort of the edgier, less heroic side, if you will.
But even then, I don't know if I agree with that, because it just seems like Superman in the New 52 is in such a bad place. Can you really call it edgy? You know,
I mean, I wasn't trying to make a great statement with what I just said. I was just.
Oh, I got you. It's for me, even beyond who Mr. Oz actually is and who escaped from Mr. Oz's prison is what's the deal with the New 52 versions?
I think red is maybe just more impulsive, because obviously red is often associated with anger and even in general. Yeah, anger and passion, and blue is kind of a calm, relaxing, peaceful color. So I think in that sense, red is just more rash, more impulsive, where blue, you know, it takes time, thinks about what he's doing.
But it's pretty clear at this point that it's one set of 2 people that were splintered.
Yes, absolutely.
When reality got altered, and Mixie talks about that. Mixie's aware that someone's playing with reality. He's aware of it. Just kind of like how Kadabra kind of knew stuff was going on in Titans. Like there's knowledge there.
Well, and they're time travelers. Well, not so much Mixie. He's basically does whatever he wants traveler.
He kind of looks in on our reality and sees, this is different to last time I looked.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got that, and we also have our Superman, as I'm going to refer to him, with the blue glowing around him as well. That happened in this issue, and basically Mixie's really evil. He starts to make him also forget John, which like Lois does at the start of the issue, because that was the sort of cliffhanger at the end of the action last week. Is that she was forgetting who John was. Now Superman's forgetting who John was, and that's when John kind of gets the help of the New 52 Superman and Lois with their energy and bursts out of his like bubble prison or whatever. And that's how we end. We end with them sort of triumphantly coming for Mixie, I guess. Which is cool. I think, honestly, this red and blue stuff, I think, as much as it is definitely visually a thing here, it's very more of a thematic thing overall. There's another book I'm going to talk about this in a little bit later in the show. Yeah. But for me, that's kind of what it represents. And then maybe them coming back together is...
Yeah, it's definitely not as overt as the original red and blue.
Oh, of course.
The wildly different... But it's just more of a personality.
But they're definitely using it. They're definitely using the colours.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, but see, that goes back to even the Gold and Silver Age, where you had the original Superman Red and Superman Blue. So this is something that's always been part of the character, just not... Morrison did it his own way in the 90s with the electric powers. So...
And if you remember in Superwoman as well, Lana kind of realised that it's your son that's important, and maybe this is what this is hinting to, is that they're all going to come together, but John will still exist because...
Yeah, I feel like John is representative of Rebirth, right? Because he was kind of born from the old universe
but
and brought to this new one. Yeah. And if you try to make them forget that, then it's just the old...
It just doesn't work.
Yeah, right?
It's almost like this is why this is such an emotional story, is that by threatening John, you're threatening the very sort of fabric of Rebirth that brought us all back, and we're like, no, don't you dare.
Now, as a Superman fan, I might just be reading far too into that, but I like to give Tomasi and Jurgens credit, if that's,
I think Tomasi's earned that right at this point.
Me too. I've yet to read something from Tomasi that I haven't really liked. At worst, it was kind of like, oh, okay, that was okay.
Yeah, there's been phases where I go, it was all right. It wasn't greatest, but it was never actively bad.
But I will applaud this though. I will applaud Mixie's speech bubble on the last page when he sees New 52 Lois and Clark. He says, "Deja New 52." Very
fantastic. Good. Just in case anyone didn't get what was going on.
Yeah.
Although, of course,
that's what's great about Mixie is he can do that type of stuff because he's outside of their reality.
Of course, all of us look at that collar and go, "Oh God, it's New 52 Superman."
It
is. As soon as you see the collar, it's like,
Yeah, I mean, Lois, of course, Lois is not a tell. She's a brunette woman.
Haircut. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. So that was basically it. There was some great double page spreads, like Mixie playing like a board game with the characters, and he's trying to get Superman to play games. And
I love how inventive the layouts got with that.
Yeah,
like the layouts got really, really inventive, and it was kind of all over the place for some of these board game bits.
Well, and that spiral one too that disorients you as you're reading it.
Yeah,
which reading these on a tablet when you don't have the screen locked is very frustrating. Because you're trying to spin to read it right, and it just keeps rewriting itself. So
keeps rewriting itself.
Not right. You know what I mean.
I just talking about universes and merging things. It's just a weird word to use. It stood out to me. But yeah, I think this was maybe the simplest issue yet, just in the sense that I don't feel there's a lot of plot points to talk about. It's all about the ending. It's all about where it ends up.
It's funny because we kind of said that last issue as well, that it was a very simple issue. It was all just about the reveal.
Sure.
And again, Superman's been, since the beginning of Rebirth, kind of been the more emotional of the two books. Because it's been about the family in Hamilton County doing what they need to do, whereas Action's been the more plot-driven book. So it's no surprise that we the emotional beats in Superman, the plot beats in Action.
Their house is gone now, so they'll be moving to Metropolis, presumably.
What does that assume so?
What does that mean for John's friend, though, and her weird grandpa?
That's a good point. I don't want to lose Kathy. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. I'm sure he can run and visit.
Maybe... Well, yeah,
I feel like John has a Smallville now. Then he can go back and visit.
Yeah, Superboy. I mean, he has powers. He can get there if he needs to. Or you never know, maybe their house will get destroyed as well, and be like, we'll get you an apartment near ours. You're fine.
City mouse, country mouse scenario.
There you go. So yeah, I think we'll leave that there for Superman. Obviously, we'll talk probably a lot more about it next week when it's the final issue and we get the resolution to all this.
And look back at the whole crossover as a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.